Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie, for those who don't know me, reviewing Love is Blind Season 7, Episode 3. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. We were left on a cliffhanger where Garrett and Taylor were about to meet, and when they do, Garrett is over the moon.
This is incredible.
Hi. You want to sit?
Yeah, yes, sir. You're beautiful.
Fong's gonna get the most lit FaceTime of her life.
And where's she from?
She's from Hong Kong.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Thank you, very handsome.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot.
What?
This has been incredible.
It's been really great.
Garrett must have been smiling even bigger than he did on the press photos. The man was cheesing ear to ear. Couldn't be happier. Like, love that for him. Love that for him. So Taylor says that her mom's name is Fong and she's from Hong Kong. I'm going to be honest with you. I think she made this situation bigger than it had to be. Like, can you tell the name is probably East Asian? Yeah. But I feel like, does it really give away what you look like? And just because somebody has an East Asian name doesn't actually mean they're East Asian. Just today, I matched with somebody who was named Olajuwon, and I was like, oh, you're Nigerian? He said, no. I said, so where you get that name from? Like, sometimes it's not a direct correlation, but whatever. She had a problem with it. It's fine. They are getting on like a house on fire. They're kissing and rubbing and touching and loving. It's great. The chemistry is chemistry. They're each other's number one element. Because, you know, she got the hydrant. That's okay. Let's move on. Next we have Bowden and Ramsay's, who are friends, and they discover that they are into the same person. And Bowden is like, I'm going to tell her.
I know who you're talking to.
How do you know? How do you know? As long as y'all don't do this whole like, oh, I'll back off for you. I would be so mad. What advice would your parents give me?
I think my mom would be like, if he gives you problems, call me.
My mom would say, be patient with her. She'd probably say something like, don't break her heart. I thought I've been in love a few times.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Yeah. It's definitely interesting that I am, like, you were previously married.
You obviously have a thing for guys who've been married before.
Oh my God, no, but like.
After Marissa finds out that Bowden and Ramsay's are friends, things start to make sense to her. She's like, oh, you guys are kind of similar, can't lie. And then she asked them not to do that whole like, oh, let me step back from my friend thing. I feel you, girl, because don't steal my opportunity from the show. Like, y'all better put your best foot forward regardless of who your friend is, okay? With these two, with Marissa specifically, I think that she's kind of like a kite, you know? I feel like Marissa goes where the wind goes. I feel like she is a hopeless romantic to the core. I just wonder how deep she can get in these relationships, you know? For instance, she talks about being with a Trump supporter, and she said that she was with him for 3 years. It took you 3 years to realize that his thought process was a little bit wonky compared to yours. I don't know. I feel like she's like here for the vibes. Like, hey, you like me, I like you. Ooh, let's see. Like, I don't know. Like, they talk about the military. And maybe that's why they keep things airy-fairy, because the military can be a dark conversation sometimes. So maybe they don't want to do things that are too, maybe they don't want to have conversations that are too emotionally taxing. That could be the reason. But I was like, Marissa, you got to get to the nitty-gritty if you're trying to find a husband, okay? Let's get deep. Now, Ramsay's, on the other hand, I feel like he has no problem divulging how he feels about his past, being vulnerable, and Marissa actually appreciates that.
I got a little bit in my head, whatever, like the news got out about like, you know, Bowden and everything.
Yeah.
I would have preferred just not to have known, so I can just focus on you. There's a possibility that that person may not be for you because they may lean in another direction.
I feel very strongly for you, so don't fucking break up with me.
No, you're...
Look at me, I'm getting awkward. I'm gonna crack a joke now.
I think that Marissa and Ramsay's do have a deeper connection. Even the conversations that Ramsay's wants to have, he's just like, really serious about seeing if they are compatible, you know, like let's get to the meat of the matter. Like there's no point being fluffy all the time, because if this ends up in a marriage, you don't want to be bamboozled later down the line when you could have asked these questions in the beginning. And he's so forthright with how he feels, like, hey, I was kind of in my head about this, about that, or like, I loved it. I loved it. It's great. They talk about being a stay-at-home parent. She says that she would not like to be a stay-at-home mom. She's put in too much work to just stay home like that, but she wouldn't mind having a stay-at-home dad. And he says, you know, I could do like remote work. I wouldn't mind being a stay-at-home dad. Like that's okay with me. So they do align. They align in so many ways. Kick Bowden to the curb. Ramsay's is your guy. Now in Tim's bio, now this I remember. Some people I got confused, like the Ashleys, but Tim, I remember. Tim came in saying, I wants me a black woman. I would have loved to see how he came to the conclusion that Alex was black. But anyways, he knows she's black.
What character do you think I would be in a movie, I guess? I'm gonna ask that.
Devil Wears Prada, modern DC melanated version. My mother always says, you need a strong-ass, strong-willed woman.
Yeah.
I'm a dog. I don't want somebody who's just always gonna agree with me. Cause like, I agree with me. I was like, can I have fun with her? Cause I feel like it always is so heavy. I feel like it's the most fun I've had with you, and I love that.
So there isn't really too much to say on these two. They got the really deep, really heavy conversations out of the way near the beginning. So right now it seems like they're just waiting out the process. I can imagine that they'll be the ones getting engaged to each other. I didn't see him talk to anybody else. I didn't see her express interest in anybody else. So they're gonna get engaged. We're just gonna say they're gonna get engaged. Next, we have Tyler and Ashley. They celebrate his birthday, and she has now written a note for him.
I never had a man choose to be with me, just based on my heart alone. I truly feel honored to have the opportunity to be loved by someone like you. Loving someone and being vulnerable is risky and not something I do lightly. I love you for everything that you are, for how you make me feel loved and soft. I want to take a leap of faith and jump in with both feet with you. None of us know what tomorrow's going to bring. I just know I never want to lose the way I feel today. Whew, Jesus.
One thing about Ashley, she gonna cry. And I love that for you, girl. Like, he really seems like the real deal. Like, she's crying because he affirms her in ways that she has never experienced. And I believe him. Tyler, I believe you. Tyler, I swear, if you... Because right now, I'm really liking Tyler. And I'm really liking Ashley. And I feel like Ashley deserves, you know? You deserve soft love, baby. And it feels like he's giving that to her. If he bamboozles me, I swear I'm going to lose it. I'm going to crash out, okay? But anyways, he proposes. She says yes. I'm glad that this year they're proposing in regular clothes because it feels more spontaneous. I'm pretty sure they're all getting engaged on the same day like they normally do with the structure. But I just like this whole like, oh, it could be a Tuesday. It could be whatever. It could be day 3. It could be day 7. You don't know. I'm going to propose when I want to. So yeah, I really like it. I really like these two. I'm hoping for the best. In the last episode, I said that one of the commenters put in a theory, and now I'm thinking maybe you watched ahead and you spoiled it for me, but it's fine. They put in a theory that maybe Hannah used to be slimmer, and so she has this complex about her weight right now, and she confirms that, yeah, I used to be 40 pounds lighter just last year.
Did you date her at all seriously?
Both, yeah.
Being logical?
No, I think she cut me out.
Oh, okay.
5'8".
Right. What?
Hannah's 5'9". I said I was okay with that. She cut me out.
Maybe I'll talk about how I lost 40 pounds last year.
Yeah. You haven't talked about that yet?
No.
So I can't speak about Hannah because I don't know how she deals with her weight and her height and stuff. So I'll talk about myself, okay? I am 5'10", and you don't need to know how much I weigh, but you could tell that I'm a big body Benz, all right? I feel like with the height thing, I can give her grace because as a taller and bigger woman, it feels so good to be with a taller guy or just a guy with like that stature that's just like, you know, like you feel protected, you feel demure, you feel cutesy. So I can hear her being like, David, I think his name was David, like he's shorter than me, don't really know how I feel about that. Now when it comes to the weight thing, I think that the bigger issue, not the bigger issue, child. Sorry. I feel like the bigger issue with Hannah is the fact that her confidence is not where it needs to be. So whether you're a size 4 or a size 14, baby, if you're confident, who gives a damn? Now, some people in this life do care about weight and whatever, but a lot of people don't care if you are confident. If you're a size 14 and you rock it like you are the best thing since sliced bread, that is felt. If you are insecure, whether you're a 14 or a 4, that is felt. If I tell you right now, I'm insecure about my ears, I bet a lot of y'all just went looking for my ears, okay? Luckily, I'm not insecure about my ears, but you bring attention to the things that you keep bringing up. So girl, if you don't make your weight an issue, oftentimes it's not going to be as big of an issue as you think it is. Interestingly enough, and I love that they showed this juxtaposition, you have Brittany, who I'm sure Hannah would see as more of the like desirable physique or whatever. She has her own insecurities and she doesn't like being compared to other people. She doesn't like the fact that in this process, she can't use her looks to win somebody over.
I've been stripped of my superpower. Usually I can just like seduce people with my eyes. I think because of people I've dated in the past and they have like certain status, so they also have like so many other girls they could be with. There's like 1,000 other beautiful, amazing women pinned against other women. It's just like, oh, here we go again.
Again, whether you're a 4 or a 14. And I keep saying 14 like I know that Hannah's a 14. I don't know that girl size. Don't put that on her. That's me just throwing out a figure, okay? It doesn't matter what size you are. If you are confident, a lot of people will see the confidence before they see the insecurity that you are projecting. You know what I'm saying? So with her, she doesn't like the fact that she can't use her looks to seduce these guys. And even when she has on the outside, she doesn't like when she's compared to other women and she feels like I'm not good enough because I'm not getting picked. Realistically, if those people don't want you, girl, that is one less person you have to deal with. If people don't like you for who you are, that's a them problem. That's not a you problem. So she tells him point blank, she tells Leo, I don't really like being compared. Like, that's a complex for me. And he makes matters worse by later telling her that he wants to talk about the rings with both her and Hannah. And she's like, what? And I'm like, what? What? Just bring up the conversation and don't say, I want to talk about it with both of y'all. Because then I'm feeling like, okay, am I second best? Am I just an option to you? Is it whoever you fancy on that day? Like, he's not giving serious at all. I mean, we know he's not serious, but he's showing these women that he's not serious. And Leo, girl, if you don't dump this man, kick him to the curb. So the conversation of prenups comes up with Hannah. I think he had the conversation as well with Brittany earlier on. He said that if he passes and he has kids, his fortune is bound to go to his kids. He also said he doesn't want to wake up one day and, oh shoot, what did he say? If his money is gone one day, he doesn't want his partner to leave him. No, that doesn't have to do with prenups. Whatever, he said it. That's the point. In this conversation with prenups, Hannah's like, I don't really care, honestly.
Having a prenup is something that's like really important to me.
No, like I completely understand. Yeah, I'll do a prenup and stuff.
You start me someone that's honestly too prideful to like marry some guy for money anyways.
Yeah. But one thing that like hurts my feelings for some reason is like weight. My mom like locked the like cabinet so I couldn't like snack and stuff. And like weight is still like a sensitive like topic for me. And then last year I lost like 45 pounds.
When I was younger, I definitely had issues with a prenup because I felt like it is planning for the worst. However, my mom actually is the one who convinced me to be okay with prenups. And I say that with, surprise because she is an Adventist woman, a devout Christian, and she is a Zimbabwean immigrant. Okay, I feel like she has a very traditional mindset for the most part, but she was like, girl, get that prenup. Okay, because if at the end of the day you don't use it, who cares? But then if you need it, at least it's there. So I'm all for prenups. Hannah's here for the prenup. Now what you put in your prenup, that'll be interesting. I'm so intrigued to know what he puts in there. Hannah then opens up about her influx in weight, and Leo didn't make it seem like it was a thing. He was like, honestly, I don't care how big or small you are. I'm going to love you regardless. That should calm her concerns. I didn't see him like, I didn't see him actually react in a way that would make me think that he's lying about what he said. So hopefully that'll make her chill out a little bit. So Nick, who's still in the equation, I honestly forgot that he was on the show. He has another date with Hannah, and Hannah asks him how he has been coping with not being a professional athlete anymore.
Do you think you had like a hard transition from football to like working?
There were definitely days where I was really depressed. I'm happy with where I'm at now.
Would you say you do well financially?
Real estate isn't something you get into and start making like 6 figures.
Do you think we'll be okay financially? Because it's going to take me a second to get a job again. It's something that is important, I guess, right?
It is important.
In life, like weight and stuff for me has always been like a difficult subject. If you're fat, like someone like less attractive is like going to get a man. When you were like making the comment about like the bikinis and stuff like that, like it just like...
Kind of hit you?
Yeah.
So I'm going to start by giving Hannah her props. I do like that she started to share where her insecurities lie when it comes to him. So the fact that he was a pro athlete, and you would assume a pro athlete would want to be with a woman who looks a particular way and she doesn't look that way, that is something that she's struggling with. She's also struggling with her own weight outside of him, and he didn't really make her feel a way about it. He said, it doesn't matter what you look like, it is what it is. Now, he did laugh when she talked about the whole locking up the snacks in the cabinet thing, and I will admit, on the surface, it is kind of funny, but when you think about it, that's quite traumatic. I can only imagine the effect that has on a kid's psyche, you know? So to carry that beauty standard that her mom was instilling in her throughout her life, and then to have a weight that fluctuates so much, I can see why it bothers her so much. But again, if you continue to bring light to the fact that it bothers you, it becomes a bigger issue than it has to be. She also had some financial concerns because you go from being a pro athlete to whatever job he's doing, you would assume his tax bracket has changed. So he says, I mean, yeah, it was a bit of an adjustment, but I'm still making enough to live, like, we'll be fine. Now, the issue that I have with Hannah is the fact that when she's with Nick, she tends to spiral a lot. And I'm thinking to myself, if you are constantly in sabotage mode with somebody, don't you think there's a problem? I get airing out your grievances, like telling him your concerns and stuff, but it's a genuine spiral. I have yet to see her spiral with Leo in the way that she does with Nick. So I'm like, if your gut is telling you there's a problem, it's probably because there's a problem. Later on, they have another date and they tell each other that they love each other. And she makes it seem like she's going to end things with Leo, but Leo says something that just brings her right back. And I'm just like, girl, where are you at? Like, do you want to be with Leo? Do you want to be with Nick? Like, pick now. Because I'm tired. It's time for Tyler and Ashley to meet. And I don't know if this was production adding a little razzle dazzle, but you could literally hear their heartbeat. And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Can you believe this?
No. What are we doing?
This is nuts.
Look amazing.
Thank you.
Jeez. Holy shit, you look good.
Oh, thank you. Oh my God.
I used to sit on a blue wall and just laugh without.
I know. I didn't expect you to have a beard. Love that.
You're beautiful.
Thank you. I love that you think that.
I know. Damn, you look good.
I didn't have doubts that these two would be attracted to each other until I saw them interact, okay? Ashley was doing a lot of this, holding herself, you know? And I was like, why does she want to touch him? Like, she would touch him, but she would more often touch herself, like hold herself. I don't know if that was a protective thing for her. I don't know if it was nerves, jitters, like, I don't quite know. They also only kissed a handful of times. And I mean, maybe some people aren't as full on. Okay, maybe some people just aren't as full on. All right. But I was thinking, does she like him? He was very complimentary, okay? The man was feeling her. And she would say things like, oh, your eyes. Oh, you look like, I don't know. I question if he is her speed all the way. Like, she's attracted to him, but does he get her going, you know? I need y'all to work out, please, please. You're the only couple I'm really ready for because everybody else makes me want to pull out my hair. And this hair isn't even real. So the episode ends with Leo and Hannah. We see Hannah in the ladies' quarters saying, hey, I've made my decision. I'm going to end things with Leo. Nick is my guy. In the men's quarters, we see Leo being asked if he had to pick right now, who would he pick? And he says, Hannah. Now come into the pods. Hannah is like, hey, I say that. I've said that I love this guy. I want to be with him. Leo starts to crash out.
The other guy I'm seeing, like, I just think, I love that man. I want someone that's, like, 100% sure about me, you know?
Do you feel like that I wasn't committed to you?
Yeah.
Or do you just genuinely feel a stronger connection with your other match? Hannah, I'm so fucking into you, like...
You need to be sure, and like you were not sure.
What have you and the other connection committed to? Like, is this set in stone? Like, Hannah, I felt like, I want you. Like, I had no idea you were having all these feelings. What would you say if I asked you to marry me right now? What would you say?
Oh my God.
Please answer me, Hannah. Like, is it too late?
I absolutely believe that Leo's ego was bruised and he would have loved to be in the driver's seat when making this decision. I do not believe him for 1 second that he wanted to be with Hannah as badly as he's making it seem right now. I didn't like the fact that he was, number one, badgering her. She could barely get a word in. He was forcing her to come to some kind of conclusion, but obviously she's going through some kind of inner turmoil regarding the decision, okay? I didn't like the fact that he was almost making her feel guilty, like, you really didn't trust me after all that I've said, after all that I've done. Sir, absolutely. This would be a glaring red flag. If he was still a contender, this would be the moment where he would be off the list completely. Hannah says that she wants somebody who is all in for her, which is why she wants to choose Nick. In Nick's defense, I feel like Nick deserves somebody who's all in for him too. So you even entertaining this conversation is a concern. It's a concern for me, yeah. Then you have Leo being so manipulative. He pulls the trump card and he's like, marry me. What if I said, marry me right now? What would you say? Manipulative. So manipulative. If you felt this sure about Hannah, where were these words before? Where was it before? Why must you wait till the very last day? Like, I find it hilarious when these people go on Love is Blind and they say, oh, I didn't know until the last minute. Lies. You knew. You knew. And if you're still grappling with it at the last minute, it's probably because you don't want to lose your chances on continuing on the show and to potentially get some notoriety. That's what I believe. I feel like when you know, and you already knew who you wanted to pick. I don't think it was Hannah. I think you're upset at the fact that Hannah is making this decision and you don't get to be in the driver's seat. Anyways, we get left on a cliffhanger. Hannah is really struggling with what he just said to her. I don't know why. Like, Hannah, I need you to stand on business, okay? If somebody is not meeting you where you want them to meet you, leave them. She has so many concerns about these guys. And then it's like, let me give it another try. Why? Like, marriage is on the line. I know a lot of these people come for, the celebrity of it all, but like, marriage is on the line and you're going to overlook these glaring red flags. What are we even cliffhanging? Why are you struggling with this decision? Cut him off. Dead that immediately. But anyways, we'll see what decision she comes to. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.